It's the biggest game of the year for your Seattle Seahawks as they take on the Arizona Cardinals in Week 18, rivalry week in the National Football League, trying to stay alive in the playoff fight. Welcome into this edition of Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you with a complete preview of this matchup. We'll get to my keys to victory, go over the injury report, prediction, and more coming up in just a few moments. Before we do that, let's start with the playoff picture, where things stand for Seattle heading into the weekend. The only spot up for grabs for the Seahawks is that number 7 seed at the moment. Green Bay holds the spot, but Seattle, New Orleans, and Minnesota are all technically still alive for that 7 seed for the time being. And the Seahawks can get in the playoffs one of 3 ways this weekend. One of those is a win against Arizona, and then Green Bay losing or tying against Chicago. And then the other possibilities are much harder. That's the easiest route to get to the postseason. The other 2, a little more difficult. A Seattle tie, a Green Bay loss or tie, and a Tampa Bay loss or tie. And then option 3 is a Seattle tie, a Green Bay loss, and a New Orleans loss or tie. Any one of those 3 scenarios happen, the Seahawks are in. But the easiest path is a win over Arizona and a Chicago win over Green Bay, and then the Seahawks are the number 7 seed. They would then face either the Cowboys, the Eagles, or the Lions in the wild card round on the road. Before we go any further in today's show, if you want the Seahawks to beat the Cardinals and make the playoffs, like today's video, don't jinx it. Don't be the reason why the Seahawks didn't get the job done because you didn't like today's video. I need everybody, all hands on deck, liking the video to make sure we all do our part to get the Seahawks in the postseason. Show some love for your Seattle Seahawks. Don't jinx it. Don't make me come find you because you didn't like today's video. Like the video, and we'll continue here on today's show. Let's start with the injury report for the Seahawks, and it is a little lengthy. Jason Peters, Mario Edwards, Jordyn Brooks, Artie Burns, they are all questionable with various injuries. And it doesn't stop there. Abraham Lucas, Evan Brown, Kenneth Walker, all are questionable as well. 7 total players on the injury report for the Seahawks entering this week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, theirs is not as lengthy. Most notable, Garrett Williams, the corner, with an ankle injury. He is ruled out for this game. He will not play for the Arizona Cardinals there. 2 big concerns for me going into this week of this matchup, and they're pretty obvious from that injury report there. One is the holes on the offensive line. When you're talking about 2 starters there, with Abe Lucas and Evan Brown, that's a big problem. And even Jason Peters, who backs up Abraham Lucas on the injury report, is not a great sign. And this has been the theme for the Seahawks all season long, is that they've had issues with that offensive line. The second is not having Jordyn Brooks. I know Devin Bush led the Seahawks in tackles last week, but I got to tell you, eye test tells me Devin Bush is not that good of a football player. And if I'm going to be potentially out Jordyn Brooks again and have to depend on Devin Bush, that doesn't sound like a great idea. So that's where I'm feeling headed into this weekend. Later on in the show, I got my prediction for you of what the final score will be and who wins it. But want to hear from you guys first. Crystal ball time. Let us know who wins, what's the final going to be. Chime in that comment section, weigh in, tell us how you think this game is ultimately going to play out. Now, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That's our friends at Factor. I got to tell you, I really love Factor meals. Tasty, easy, good bachelor meal, as I call it. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door with over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons. You'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Forget frantic lunch preps and rushed dinners. Factor's 2-minute meals are your secret weapon in the new year. Fuel up fast, with restaurant-quality meals, all delivered right to your door. When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. Change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. Head to factormeals.com/chatsports50 and use code Seahawks Chat 50 to get 50% off. That's code Seahawks Chat 50 at factormeals.com/Seahawks Chat 50 to get 50% off. Factor Meals, proud partner of Seahawks Today and Chat Sports. First key to victory for your Seattle Seahawks, containing Kyler Murray. What is the big difference between this Seattle Seahawks team compared to the last time they faced the Arizona Cardinals? Kyler Murray is under center now for this Arizona team, and Arizona is playing much better football. They put a smackdown on the Philadelphia Eagles last week. They have been a different team. And I think about it this way. Real simple for you, folks. If Kyler Murray can have an off day, if he can have a bad day, Seahawks easily win this game. To me, Kyler Murray is the only thing that gives this Arizona Cardinals team a chance. We know that Kyler Murray can be a good passer. He's one of the fastest players in the league, very mobile. He is a problem to deal with. And their offense is going to be generated based on how much Kyler Murray can really get that thing going, get the wheels turning on that offense. And the script of sorts for the Arizona Cardinals is pretty simple. Since 2022, they are winless when they score less than 22 points. So if you can contain Kyler Murray and avoid that offense from getting the big plays and turning this into a shootout, if you can hold them under 22, you're going to win this football game. Simple as that. That's the worst in the NFL, folks. Seahawks do that, they're going to be in great shape as far as that goes. Contain Kyler Murray, they're going to be fine. Number 2, establishing the run. I feel like we talk about this every week, but it's pretty simple. When the Seahawks throughout the season have won football games, when they've looked at their best, it's been when they've run the football well, when they've established the run. We've heard from John Schneider and Pete Carroll say they want to be a run-first football team and all that, and yet too many times throughout the year, this Seahawks team gets away from the run game when that should be their bread and butter. I know that we showed you earlier Kenneth Walker on the injury report and all that, but I got to tell you, whether Kenneth Walker is 100% healthy or not, that should not change the game plan of establishing the run. If it's got to be Zach Charbonnet as your bell cow, the guy leading the way in the run game, that's fine with me. I think you very well should be just as aggressive running the football and run the football just as well if Charbonnet's your guy and Kenneth Walker's not available. Next man up mentality. It shouldn't matter whether Kenneth Walker is there or not. We love having Kenneth Walker there, and he's a big difference maker. But Zach Charbonnet, I have no reason why to think he can't get the job done if he's going to be the guy in line for this Seahawks team. So far this season, Charbonnet's number has been okay. 4 yards a carry. He's got a touchdown, 430 yards. I kind of expected more out of Zach Charbonnet, but they've kind of limited his role. This could be a huge opportunity for him to show how good he really is on that front. I'm watching out for Zach Charbonnet potentially here. I mean, and this goes back to exactly what I was saying. Seahawks are 3-0 when they rush for 120 yards or more in a game this year, just as a team. That's best in the NFL. So Seahawks do that, they're going to be in great shape. They're going to be just fine. Who's a player that needs to step up and have a big game? Zach Charbonnet specifically came to mind for me. What about you? Weigh in. Tell me a name in the comments section who needs a big game for the Seattle Seahawks. Weigh in and let us know what you think. Folks, we have an exciting year ahead in 2024 for your Seattle Seahawks. We have, of course, our watch party coming up this weekend. Got another watch party coming up for the national championship when Washington takes on Michigan. But this is going to be the place to be when it comes to draft content, trades, free agency, each and every day. We're not slowing down at all. And I hope that this is not the last Seahawks watch party we do of the year this weekend for this Seahawks Cardinals game. But you better believe if it is, we're going out with a bang. One way or the other, we are going to have a hell of a time coming up this weekend. Seahawks Cardinals, we get started about an hour prior to kickoff. Smitty's going to be here with me, and we're going to have a few drinks on hand. It's going to be a great time. Make sure to join us live coming up here on Seahawks Today for Seahawks Cardinals right here on the channel. Do not miss out on it. You will not be disappointed. All right, number 3 on our keys to victory is DK Metcalf. You guys know how it goes. DK, touchdowns all day. He rules. We need DK. We need DK more than ever to have touchdowns all day and really just insert his will. I got to tell you, I love what I've seen from DK Metcalf as of late. He's been playing some great football. He's over 1,100 yards receiving on the year. He's got 8 touchdowns. And this is, we mentioned, the most important game of the year. The Seahawks need DK to come through more than ever before right now. This is his moment, his time to shine. Averaging over 17 yards a reception. We mentioned the 8 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. This could be a DK Metcalf legacy game. That's what we're talking about potentially here, where you look at what this Seahawks team needs to get done, playoffs on the line, and the passing game with their importance, the dependence on DK. This is a different team when DK plays well. DK needs to have a big day. Watch out for DK, and not just the yards, but getting in the end zone too. I'm excited about DK. Let's see what he can do to finish off this season on a high note. Win on third down. This has been a problem all season long for the Seattle Seahawks, has been third down and how much they've struggled converting. Timing is everything, though. And while the Seahawks have struggled on third down all year long, Week 18 is the perfect week to turn things around. Not just because you desperately need to try to make the postseason, but listen to what the statistics show here. We know the Seahawks' third down conversion offense isn't very good. 25th in the league, 35.38% is the number. The Cardinals, meanwhile, have the worst third down defense in the league. 47.15% third down defense. So with that said, this is a chance for the Seahawks. If you're ever going to convert on third downs, if you're ever going to get it right, this is a golden opportunity to do so for Seattle. Last but not least, cutting down on penalties. Man, sometimes I watch the Seahawks team when it comes to the penalties, and they don't look like a team that's reached the Week 18 point in the season. They look like they're making mistakes that they should be making in the preseason or early on, that they continue to stumble in their own way. This is basically a playoff game at this point. Mistake-free. I don't want to see any of those silly pre-snap penalties that we see all the time. And we mentioned DK earlier, touchdowns all day. Definitely can't afford any of the unsportsmanlike penalties and all that nonsense there. This has got to be, keep your focus in, do what you need to do, and put your best foot forward. And penalties can't be an excuse, can't be a reason why. You look at the penalty stats, it's bad this year. 30th, 32nd, 23rd. Seahawks got to do better than that. I mean, just simple as that. It's just unacceptable at this juncture to get in the way as this team does. It's not an official problem. It's a Seahawks problem. And we'll be monitoring on Sunday, not just our game, but also that Bears-Packers game. Unfortunately, the Bears have not beat the Packers since 2018. What's your confidence level for that Bears-Packers game of the Bears getting it done in Green Bay? Scale it for me in the comment section 1 through 10. How do you feel about the Bears' chances against Green Bay? Let us know what you think. To recap our keys to a Seahawks victory, containing Kyler Murray, establishing the run. DK, touchdowns all day. We need him to rule. Got to win on third down. Got to cut down on penalties. If the Seahawks do all that, I think they'll be in good shape. I think this could be a game where the Seahawks outscore Arizona, where they insert their will, where the offense does what they need to do. The Seahawks do their part to get in the postseason. I think they win 33-23 over the Arizona Cardinals. How about you? Who wins? What's the final score going to be? Predict it for me in the comment section and let us know how you think this is going to play out. If you enjoyed today's show, hit the like button on today's video. Show us some support. Do your part to get that Seahawks win. And we shall see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.